I'm Jordan Renner from Team 70.
I'm Ben Timmons from Team 70.
And we are Dyna Dialysis. The pain point for our project is there's a huge unmet need for global dialysis, with acute renal failure. Working with Dr. Gregory here at the University of Utah, a chief nephrologist, we've established a sustainable lo-fi project that we can believe can accomplish the problems for the unmet needs for dialysis patients worldwide. Our product is essentially sustainable green dialysis that runs without electricity because of economic constraints on developing nations who don't have access to electrical outputs or main feasible options that we in the States or developed nations have. So we're trying to supersede that and create a product that can actually run essentially autonomous to itself and provide support for the dialysate patients in need.
Dyna Dialysis consists of a reservoir, heat exchanger, dialysis cartridge, and fluid extractor. The reservoir provides a buoyancy force from an air-filled piston, creating the force to drive the pressure of the dialysate through the machine. The patient's blood flows through the cartridge by the heart or the cardiac output. In the dialysis cartridge here, blood flows in and dialysate flows in. Stirling forces create a balance that can cause a net movement of fluid into or out of the patient's blood. By manipulating the osmotic pressure and the pressure of the dialysate, we can either remove fluid from a patient or add more fluid. Fluid will originally come into a fluid extractor to fill it up due to a low pressure in the dialysate. And then after the extraction chamber is full, the pressure will increase, stopping removal of excess fluid from the patient. A heat exchanger allows us to recover some of the heat lost from heat transfer of the dialysate with the blood, preventing patient hypothermia.
Now the cost of our machine is indicative of a reservoir tank, dialysate cartridge, heat exchanger, and fluid extractor and tubing all come to an annual cost of around $450 to $585, compared to the average cost of the machine on the market, which is about $10,000. As you can see that we have a feasible market penetration just by our value proposition alone. The cost of our machine is definitely to a minimal, therefore to keep costs down and productivity up, while still accomplishing the same flow rate of 250 to 300. Now the global dialysis market is definitely growing, expanding. It's projected to grow to about $15.3 billion by 2018 on a projected pipeline analysis. Now essentially it's been ascending since 2006 all the way up to 2014 with projected growth of 5 to 6% compounded annual growth rate. Therefore, it's a growing market and there's a lot of opportunity and there will be in the future as well. Now the drivers essentially for us as a team is to accomplish something and make growth and affect the patients that we want to set out in the demographic. So essentially a study that was done by Moore, Garbage, and Brown assessing global trends and modalities of dialysis assessed that peritoneal dialysis made up for 8.5%, the rest of the dialysis between 22 and 23%, but 68% of the dialysis patients worldwide are hemodialysis, therefore affecting our machine with simplicity and the capability of in-home dialysis not being an opportunity for us. The competitors we deal with are Gambro, Baxter, and Braun Fresenius, the main market players with catheters like Bard, Fresenius. After analyzing the market, we've assessed that there isn't much competition in that regard towards sustainable hemodialysis machines. The segmentation of the market deals with peritoneal dialysis and hemodialysis. We'll be attempting to affect the hemodialysis patient because of the larger grasp on the product and the problem that we have with Dr. Gregory, and as well not going after in-home dialysis, we're going after clinical dialysis. Our customers are 7% of hospitalized patients, 36 to 67% of ICU admissions. It's a growing annual rate. The global market of dialysis is different inside the modalities, but we have a huge demographic that we're going after with. Now our value proposition is we are committed to a concept to give dialysis to patients that are in developing nations and global communities that are without electricity or access to basic necessities of dialysis equipment. We want to essentially make feasible access to these patients and give them an opportunity to improve their quality of life with a low-cost, sustainable project. Thank you.